So I'm currently behind the wheel of the 2025 Ram 1500 in the Warlock trim, and I'm going to take some time to go through the interior of this thing. But before I do, if you can like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So starting as I normally do, I'm going to start over on the left. So over on the left, you got your door locks right here. You've got your window switches. You've got your toggle for the rear mirror adjust. You've got your door latch right here. To the right of that, you have a toggle for the different headlight options. You have a little switch that increases and decreases the dim level for the gauge cluster. Your parking brake latch is right here, and you have a button which enables the plug in the rear cargo bed. Then you have the gauge cluster. So in the center of the gauge cluster, it is a digital display, and on the left and the right, there are analog gauges. So over on the left, you got your tach, as well as a little temperature gauge in the center, or off to the left. Then you have your speedometer and a little full fuel gauge to the right. But in the center, there's a lot of details that you can cycle through for whatever data you want to display. So I usually leave it on kind of a digital speedometer, but cycling through, you have driver info, vehicle info, and then on that screen, you can kind of cycle through. Some pages have options you can cycle left and right through. So on vehicle info, just starting over all the way to the left, you've got fuel economy, gauge summary, which kind of showcases a lot of the temps. Then you can just kind of have one temperature standard on the screen, oil life, halfway there, oil limit, battery voltage, the tire pressures for all four corners, the engine start stop, currently off, drive modes, engine hours. Going down, you got trip info, A and B. Whatever you're listening to on audio, currently on Sirius XM, messages, there are no messages, bunch of settings you can enable, and back to the speedometer. So going back to the steering wheel, how I was adjusting everything over there on the gauge clusters over here on the left. So these arrows up and down, obviously cycle you through the different pages. If you get on a page that has multiple options, showcased by this little red dot at the bottom, you can go left and right on that page with these controls. You have your talk options as well. You have cruise control options over on the right. You have gear limit buttons lower than that, and gonna give you a better look at the steering wheel. Features nice Ram branding. Behind the steering wheel, there is the engine start stop button. Kind of lower and to the right, you have the gear change. So it's a knob, and you have park, reverse, neutral, and drive. And you just put your foot on the brake, and you can adjust between the different gears in the vehicle. Attached to that as well is the four-wheel drive options of the vehicle as well. So you start obviously in two-wheel drive, and you can go to four-wheel drive low and four-wheel drive high. That will also require you to go into neutral settings, or neutral transmission setting. You have the engine start stop button right here. You have axle lock and hill ascent control. Tucked down low there, you have a bunch of USB plugs, regular and USB-C, and then an auxiliary plug in the center, right where my finger is. Opposite that, before I get to the navigation display, is a standard plug. Above the navigation display, you have kind of a cubby space, currently holding the bottom of my gimbal. It features a old school smoker's plug, as I call it. Kind of a tray spot you can put your phone, will probably sit right where my fingers are going across. And then you have that navigation display that I was just mentioning. So there are different fast selection options on the bottom. So you got home, you can kind of customize if you would. Media, whatever you're listening to. Phone, there's nothing connected. Just a bunch of settings for the vehicle as well. You name it, you can change it. Mirrors, wipers, door locks, everything. You can even reset it like I almost accidentally did. And you have different apps, the audio settings, driver profile. You can pretty much adjust everything. I either leave it on whatever I'm listening to or the home screen. Coming down from there, you have all the controls, volume control, mute button, hazards. You have the lane assist off button. You can turn off the screen, tuner knob as well. From down below there, you have the HVAC controls, so the fan strength, heat or cold, and then where you want that air to go. You have some knob buttons down here, little toggles. So you have traction control off, parking sensors off in the front, parking sensors off in the rear, and a tow and haul, a little switch right there. Then you have the center console, which is hidden to be its own seat, which is unique, but it features cup holders. Armrest opens up, bunch of more cubby space. You can probably put 3 or 4 Coke cans across, laying flat right here. Probably 1 Coke can can sit right there. But as you pop this up, there's more space down below right there for, I don't know, you could in theory put some sodas there, but they're not really going to be held like they are in a cup holder. Another spot for a phone. Going to the passenger side, nice cubby space in the front, but you also get a glove box as well. Give you a look at the passenger door. The seats are cloth seats. Currently holding my child's car seat. Cloth seats in the back, give you a good look. You can see that rear bed cover in the back. No sunroof, but there are some lighting buttons up top. And a sunglass holder. But that is pretty much the interior of the 2025 Ram 1500 in the Warlock trim. If there is some button, some feature I didn't go in depth enough on, and you have some additional questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. No question is stupid or anything like that. I'm finding a lot of my videos are getting a second life in the used car market. So while this is a 2025, if you stumble upon this in 2026, 2027, or 10 years from now, and you just have some questions about how a certain button or feature works in your vehicle because the manual is no longer with the vehicle and you bought it used and you have some questions, just leave them in the comments below. I answer every question that is not some hate speech, anything like that. I answer all comments that are just genuine questions, no matter, as long as I can do it, and then however long my channel keeps growing, if I can still do it, I will answer all questions pertaining to just the vehicles and like, how does this setting work? How does this button work? When would you use this? Things like that. So if you have any of those questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you would, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. It helps a lot. Thanks for watching.